I made a booking system for a mobile car valeting local business using System.io, and it's a paid booking funnel. And the client didn't have a website, they didn't have an email, and they didn't have a domain. So that was the initial onboarding stuff. And they also want to make this a full-time endeavor. So they're still sort of like part-time or like hobbyist. And they just want a calendar system basically to make everything as automated as possible. Because right now all they're doing is taking bookings via Facebook Direct Messenger and then putting it in their Notes app on their iPhone, maybe in their calendar if they remember. And then they just turn up to the job, do what they need to do, get paid either cash in hand or by bank transfer. So I end up choosing System.io for the funnel for a few reasons. I mean, one, it's cost effective. It's a good place to actually like test out whether they can do this by a booking system online or whether there's a more viable solution. Two, it comes at the website sort of baked in, so it allows them to actually get more free leads through Google search, and we then end up making a Google My Business for them as well. But also I'm just used to it. I use System.io for all of my stuff. I think it's great. I think it's possibly one of the future of web design moving forward, web development moving forward, just because it's baked in with all the goods of funnels, email, landing pages, website, blog. Like if you need it, it's there already, and they're only getting better as time goes on as well. So without further ado, I'll show you the site that we have. So this is the account, and this is the website that we made. This took about, 4 hours or 6 hours or so. And we can just have a look at it full screen, move myself out of the way here as well. So as you can see, it's a really nice, beautiful website, really basic in terms of like what it has, no animations or anything like that. I'm not really into that like flashy stuff, I suppose, just gets in the way. Really nice, clear what they do, who for, their call to actions. We've got some social proof here as well. Really excellent. These are real reviews from their Facebook. Like I said, they're a proven business. They're just a bit smaller or they're just starting out. And then we have the section here that just shows like with infographics what they offer. So there's detailing, full valet, maintenance, interior valeting, and then the actual services. So these are their two main services. There's part of the constraints as well is that ED Autocare only has two direct offers or two core offers realistically, and then from those two core offers they then have these essential add-ons, which is their membership subscriptions and the engine bay cleaning. So these two buttons are the main thing that take us to the funnels, and then everything else is sort of informational based. It shows the process, and then all the other call to actions take you to their services for you to actually read more and then be able to book it that way. FAQ, all that good stuff. Like I say, the site isn't necessarily the main thing here, but I'm just showing you where the funnel is accessed from. And it's primarily in this section portion here. And then of course in the nav bar, which is sticky when you're actually previewing it. So the main thing that I want to show you is the funnels. So they have these are the four funnels that we needed. So the main thing happens here in this booking funnel, mobile valeting booking. We have the maintenance subscription. That's an upsell technically, because their maintenance and engine bay cleaning are only accessible as a previous or existing customer. And then we have the deposit. This is what makes it a paid funnel, a paid booking funnel, because System doesn't actually, as of this video, as of yet, they don't actually have a way of doing booked funnels. So we had to find a way around. And then this is a refuse maintenance funnel. This is just for email marketing purposes, because we don't want them to completely refuse email marketing because we use it for all our other communications. So we need them to, if they want to opt out of that specific promotion, which is their maintenance subscription, this is what they do here. So let's just go dive into this. So in here we have so in the booking funnel, or in the mobile valeting booking funnel, it's a single step for each booking, and I've just put all of the calendars in here. All right, so we have the full valet booking package, and we can actually just view this one live. So this is what it will look like. It will tell them what it is they're going for. It'll give the description, the price. It's from £80 because it depends on the actual how like clean or dirty the vehicle is. What's included, so they know what to expect. And then this is the booking policy. Now this is crucial for the actual paid booking experience, right? Because again, like say, System doesn't natively support paid bookings as of yet. I think there's something that they're going to introduce, but right now we had to just do it where you can make the booking. So you go down here, You choose the day that you want to make the booking. This is on a preview, so we can't actually book it, but we pick the day, and then it will take us to, let's actually look at the edit version. So then you pick the day and time, and then it will take us to the form. And the form, we ask them, this is specific to Ethan and ED Autocare's requirements. So we need their name, email, and phone number, of course. We need the address, and this is the address of where we find the vehicle. So it could be a place of work, it could be their abode or the house. It's okay. And then this is crucial to his service. Like, he wants to know the car type, so then he's aware of how long it might take for him to do it. So it could be a car, like we could just put the name or the reg or something here, just as long as then he can go check it up himself, or like a van or something. Dog hairs, whether they have them or not, smoke or stains and smells, and then problem areas that they want to focus on. And these are text answers because using a click box doesn't populate in the contacts on the CRM area. So it's just easier to put this, and we just take like a yes or no answer. It's no big deal. It's just to give Ethan an idea of what he's going to deal with when he gets there. And then after they do that, they just go to the thank you page. So this is what it'll show. It doesn't take them to a thank you page. This is why each funnel calendar is just a single step inside of one larger funnel, because the calendar itself handles the booking, the information, like the form, and then the thank you. So after they see this, like, they'll then receive an email. So there's no need to have like a dedicated thank you page like you would a normal funnel. So that's why we can have these three in the same place. It just also makes it easier to track where these are, because they're essentially the exact same funnel, barring the description of the service, like what's included, how much it'll cost. And then we just have different testimonials in here just to keep it varied. And then this just depends on the event we select. So we can choose whichever event in here, and that will determine what the actual funnel's for. So that's really straightforward. Like, that was the easy part, honestly, essentially. And then the next logical thing to show you then would be then the workflows. So we have 4 workflows. Now, on his paid tier, he's on the starter tier, he can only have 5 workflows. So we're just one off that limit. And I wasn't fully aware of this as I was making them. It just so happened to be just underneath the limit, because when you're a admin account on someone else's system account, you can't see the limits that you're reaching on the like paid tier, for example. But this all worked out well. So now what happens is when a full valet's booked, like the one we just saw now, they will then be entered into this workflow. This is what makes it a paid booking, right? So then it's a bit complex, but we'll try step through. As you can see, it's got a lot of decisions down here, but this is just like foolproof essentially, but it's just a repeat of what's happening up here. So what happens is when they apply for a full valet or interior valet, those are the 2 core offers, then they will be given a tag. So the tag is reciprocal of it's of what they're booking, right? So they'll get the full valet tag if it's full valet they book. They'll get an interior valet tag if the interior valet is booked. And then I'll go to the pipeline stuff later, but they are assigned a position in the pipeline. So it will then say client booked with no deposit. And then we'll send them an email asking them to say action required. We can actually have a look at this email too. And this will just say action required, confirm your booking in 24 hours. And then they will be advised that if you want this booking, like, you're only halfway through basically. Like, you've picked your day, you've picked your time, you've picked the service, but in order for it to be like 100% guaranteed, you now need to pay a deposit. And within this particular use case, that deposit is taken off of the final product, the final payment amount. So on site, if the valet is £80 and the client pays a deposit of £10, they'll pay the remaining £70 when Ethan gets there and does the job, which is also fair for these kind of jobs anyway, because, you know, we had a talk, Ethan and I, and it was a case of, I personally wouldn't book a full valet without like having experienced it first, you know what I mean? Or at least seeing the job. Like, the last thing I'd want to do is like to pay £80 for someone to come clean my car, and then they do so, maybe it's not a great job, and then I have to ask for a refund because it's not good. I mean, they should still give it to me. Otherwise, you know, it's a problem then with authorities, whatever. I don't know. But it's just easier for something like this. It's like a pay after the service, you know? So because the other option to make this a paid booking was to show them a funnel where they can pay for the booking and then send them an email that would direct them to the calendar. But again, that was just a no-go. Like, no one is going to pay for something that they don't yet know if they can get it on the day that they want, or the service that they desire or the time slot that they would prefer. So it just didn't make sense. So after we send that first email, we wait 7 minutes. This is kind of longer than we would expect, but it just depends. Like, it's just in case someone older is using the service. This can definitely be adjusted depending on how it's used further down the line. But wait about 7 minutes, and then we'll check if that person is now tagged with paid deposit, because the link that we send them to in this email is to the funnel. And I can actually show you this real quick so it'll make more sense. It will take them to the valet service deposit. So in here, this is where the email will take them, and it will tell them why you need a deposit, the deposit policy, which is, for this particular case, it's non-refundable, but it's taken off your final price. It's also, you're available to reschedule as long as it's not within 24 hours. Like, it has to be outside that 24-hour window, because on Ethan's side of things, as ED Autocare, if you cancel like on the day of your appointment, that booking is not available on the calendar. So if someone else wanted to book it, they couldn't. And so Ethan would then be forced to have to, like, you know, do some social outreach or whatever, email marketing, to try and get that slot fit. And if he can't, then, I mean, that's it, right? Like, he's lost a client and he's lost a space for potential clients. So you make it non-refundable. However, if you reschedule outside of that time, then you absolutely can reschedule to another time without paying another deposit. That's acceptable. Again, this is based on your actual business needs, but this is something we discussed, and I thought that this made sense, you know? And then all this is a 2-step order form. All we need is the first name and email to be able to send the confirmation and stuff. We only ask for the postcode here just in case they use like a different name or email by accident, or I don't know, they just use a different one basically. But at least this way we can use that just as a way of finding out who it is that made the booking. The hope is here though is that they use their same first name and email that they initially put for the service booking, so it corresponds in our actual contact database. And then once they have that, there's just a 2-step order form, and then this will just ask them to pay the £15 by credit card or debit card. And I think he has PayPal and Stripe on here as well, so you can also take like Apple Pay and stuff. And that one's really simple. The cool thing with this though now is once they've now made that payment, we then send them to the upsell here. So he has this second service, which is it's an add-on. So you have to either have a service booked or be an existing customer to get his add-ons or membership. So this add-on then, it suggests, do you want an engine bay clean? It's £30. It's a one-click upsell, so they can just click it and it'll charge the last card that they put the details in. And then they go to the thank you page. So that's the deposit. And all this will do is just, like, we have the maintenance plan upsell here as well, but this is mainly just to let you know like what's going to happen next and things like that. So that's how people pay for their deposits. So that's what's in this workflow when someone gets a full valet. And when they pay that deposit, I actually should have shown you that real quick as well, but when they pay that deposit, they'll actually be tagged with paid deposit. So that's in here, an automation rule. So as soon as someone's paid for that one, they'll get tagged with paid deposit. And that's what our workflow is looking for here. So the workflow here is looking for, have they been tagged with paid deposit? If it's yes, then we move them to client booked with deposit paid, basically. And then we wait 2 minutes, and then we send them your booking confirmation email. And then they're just waiting for the booking now at this point. Now, system handles the reminder booking email apps. So an hour before a booking, System.io automatically sends out an email to that client and to yourself. And I think it sends out a week before as well, but the main thing is an hour before, like, they will be notified by email, so it's okay. So now the other side of it though is if they don't pay in those 7 minutes, we wait 8 hours and then we check again. And the reason we check again is just in case they took 8 minutes to pay. And so if they took 8 minutes to pay and then it checked this, we would just wait that 8 hours and then we'd check again. And so this, again, these times can be changed depending on how the users find the service. I mean, more often than not, we've had people pay within the 7 minutes. It's not a problem. But just in case they paid after like 10 minutes or something, maybe their card wasn't working, they had to move finances around and all that stuff, they would just have to wait the 8 hours to be able to get their confirmation email. But as long as they know they've paid, it's no big deal. But this is something that we put on that booking page or the confirmation page to say, just keep an eye out for the confirmation email. if it doesn't come immediately, it will come within 8 hours. Like, we just let them know of this workflow, basically. And then that repeats itself after that, realistically. So once we check again, if it's yes, all good. If it's no, send an action required email again. Wait 7 minutes to see if they've done that. And then if they haven't paid again, like I said, it keeps going until we hit 3 reminding emails. The last email is this one, which is, we sent them a reminder. We sent the reminder here. It's a bit difficult because you can't read it, but this email here actually sends an email to the client to say, we couldn't hold your spot, we're going to cancel it. And then this last email is actually sent to Ethan to then manually cancel that client. So this goes to his work email here. And this is important because right now, again, system doesn't allow or doesn't enable us to cancel bookings through the workflow just yet. So he has to do that manually. But that's why we have this CRM, which is really cool, this pipeline. So what I have in here, this is where we see, so if someone now books for a interior or full valet, they get put in the client booked no deposit. Once they've paid their deposit, they get moved to here, right? So that this is like a visual check for Ethan on a day where he can look and he can see, okay, this person hasn't paid deposit. He could manually email them or call them because he has their details. He could just be like, hey mate, I noticed you booked online, but you haven't paid your deposit. And he can come to a verbal agreement to say, would you like to pay in full on the day and still keep your appointment, or would you like me to go ahead and cancel? So he can manage that himself, depending use by use basis. The overall system though is for the majority where it moves smoothly, right? And so, someone might message him and be like, yeah, sorry, I didn't have a card on hand. Is it okay if I pay on the day? He'll be like, sure, as long as I know I'm going to someone where it's not a no-show or a cancelled appointment, that's fine. But then otherwise they get moved to paid with deposit. And then that's all gravy at this point. This engine bay clean is the same as client booked with deposit, except they have the upsell of engine bay clean. So these two are essentially the same. And hopefully in time, System.io will actually make it where we can color code these. And I think they're also going to introduce more pipelines, which would be much more useful. And then we have these other ones here. So this is where Ethan tested it himself. So lost booking, didn't pay deposit. So this is where if someone booked but never ever paid the deposit and it went the full 24 hours, they would get moved to here. So Ethan now, on like a, 1 day a week or like at the start of his work week, he can check if anyone is in this bracket here. He just simply has to click on their name and then cancel that appointment, sorry. So then that way he knows, like, these ones are definitely like we don't need. And I'll explain the lost booking as well. Existing client is there for the maintenance subscription as well, because you have to be a maintenance subscription holder. You have to be an existing client to be able to get a maintenance subscription. So that's the bulk of it, right? That's like his two main funnels. It's the interior valet and the full valet. So now, after a job is completed, the only like manual thing Ethan has to do, there's 2 options that I gave him. It was, after a job is completed, they'll be in here. So on the day, like say he's just finished washing a car, he can go on System.io on his phone, and then he can drag and drop someone from, you can just do like move them around and stuff. And he can drag and drop people to like service completed, or you can drop them into like engine bay. Like he can do this himself manually, right? But what you can also do is from the contacts, what we have is if he clicks on that name, the idea is that on the day of cleaning, he'll come in here and he'll just click work completed. Once he clicks work completed, it triggers a workflow. So that's the reason why I'm not going to click it right now. But what it will do is, this is the next most important workflow that we made for him, is work completed will now say, okay, he's tagged with work completed after 1 minute. But this is just asking to leave a review. And so they'll do it on both Facebook and Google. This is really great for business for him. And then all this does after that is it just checks if they clicked this email, if they clicked the link in that email, which is to leave a review. If they clicked it, yes, we remove work completed. If they haven't, we wait 1 day and then remove work completed anyway. So the reminder is just a single email. You do or you don't. It's going to come after every wash anyway, so it's not a big deal. And then after that, that's where we do some sanitizing of the system, where they'll be tagged with existing client because now they exist, right? And if they already are an existing client, it just does nothing, it just moves on. And then it will remove the service that they've booked for, so whether it's interior valet or full valet. And then it will also remove the engine bay clean, so that we know, like basically clearing that client to being back to just a normal client, no bookings, nothing, right? and then we put them in the existing client. This is also useful because if he wants to do email follow-ups later down the line, maybe he has like a special promotional offer or something, he can just send it to anyone tagged with existing client. And then they'll get a promotional email to say, it's Father's Day soon, book a valet for like 40% off or something as a gift, right? And so this is the next bit. This is now where we get into the promotional stuff. So we need them to stay on the email marketing for correspondence in general. But here we'll be able to check, right, have they refused that maintenance email promotions? If it's yes, we're going to check, do they have a maintenance subscription? If that's yes, we're going to wait 25 days after this job has been completed, and then we're going to send them a reminder to say it's time to book. This particular booking goes to the maintenance booking calendar, where they won't be sent like a paid deposit or anything, because maintenance is a monthly subscription. On the inverse, if they refused the maintenance promotion, are they also still not a maintenance subscription holder? So this side is a little bit redundant, but it's just to make sure we don't miss out on anything. We don't like accidentally send people promotions or move them into place that they shouldn't be. This side's mainly redundant. So we check again. If they didn't refuse maintenance, and then that means they then bought the subscription, we'll be able to say yes, same thing as this. So now if they haven't refused maintenance subscription and they don't have a maintenance subscription, if they refuse promotion and they don't have a maintenance subscription tag, then we apply the maintenance promotion tag. So this is an upsell basically. So we'll send them an email to say, hey, glad we did a good job, whatever. Did you know we had a maintenance subscription? And so this is what I mean here. So this link lets them cancel this specific promotional email line. And this link allows them to actually book for the maintenance subscription. So the only way that they can access engine bay cleaning is when they pay for a deposit. And then the only way they can access maintenance subscription is through this email. They can't just get onto it. Like otherwise they have to ring Ethan and talk to him like to his face. And you might be wondering as well, so a maintenance subscription can't get an engine bay cleaning. No, they can. It's just on their own. Like maintenance subscriptions have a premium booking route essentially. So they can have all the add-ons and stuff, but for them it's just charged at a lower rate. It's just different. So we keep that separate. And all this will do is it will send them that first email to say, hey, do you want to be a maintenance subscription holder? And then we wait 7 days. And then we'll see, are they tagged with maintenance subscription? Because maybe they did subscribe within those 7 days. This will then, if they did, this will kick them off of that workflow. They'll stop getting the promotional emails. If they didn't, we'll then remind them one more time, and then we wait 2 weeks. And then same thing again. If they did end up purchasing, they'll be booking elsewhere basically. But if they didn't, we send them one last email to say, hey man, it's been about three weeks since your car was cleaned. It's due for another one. Instead of paying full price though, you could join up to the maintenance subscription now and get it at £30 off and also become like a monthly subscription holder. So this is like a double whammy. It's like, it's a review workflow, but it's also a maintenance promotion workflow. So those are the main ones. And then see the maintenance booking. So maintenance booking, you can't access that maintenance booking funnel unless you have a maintenance subscription, right? But just in case someone does, so this is how we actually purchase the maintenance subscription, by the way. It's just a simple form, same as before. We get to know all the information though, rather than just paying a deposit. It's similar to the deposit one, but we get all the car information. And then after that, they're all signed up. It's just a thank you page. But if they accidentally get to this maintenance page, which is very possible because the URL isn't difficult to find. But if they accidentally get to the maintenance booking page where they get to use this calendar, and remember this calendar is specifically for maintenance subscription holders, what we then have in place again is a fail-safe where it's, look, someone's booked on that calendar. We're going to check one, do they have maintenance subscription tag and existing customer tag, just in case, they have one or the other by accident. If they don't, we tell them, hey, action needed. Your booking can't be confirmed. You aren't a maintenance subscription holder. You aren't a member of our inside squad, basically. So it says, but if you'd like to, here's a chance to actually join, right? And then if they are though, then we let them know your booking has been confirmed. This is just a fail safe. I mean, worst case scenario is that they actually managed to bypass this anyway, which is impossible essentially. But if they did, I've spoke to Ethan about this. I said I've put in as many measures as possible to prevent that from happening. But if someone did, they would be signed up to monthly subscriptions anyway. You know, it just is what it is. It's very unlikely though. It really is. Like, even if someone gets that maintenance calendar specifically, unless they actually are a paying subscription member, they won't be able to use it. Like, it will just redirect them. So again, Ethan doesn't have to worry about that. It's all automated. So those are the 4 main workflows realistically. One for each main service, the interior and the full valet. The work complete, which is the only manual aspect Ethan will have to do himself. And then the maintenance booking, which is, this just really checks, you know, this is like again, this is automated. He doesn't have to worry about this. And yeah, I mean, that's it. And that's how we do. I'll just show you real quick this one. So this is just a squeeze page. If you refuse the maintenance promotions, you just, simple as that, you put your email in, and then we'll say thanks, you know, you're removed from the list. And then the automation rule just simply adds the refuse maintenance. This is just so we know that refuse promotions, but it's specifically for maintenance promotion though. There'll still be an existing customer. So if we do have other promotional stuff like the Father's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas Day, who knows, whatever Ethan wants to run as a promotion, he can still send it to his entire list. But if he wanted to, he could also omit the refuse maintenance holders because they might not want any promotions entirely. They just want to make a booking as and when it suits them, and that's absolutely fine. So it's really simple, really straightforward, nothing too complex. And like I say, the pipeline then, just a little bit more explanation on that, is then we can then see maintenance subscription holders visually. This is just, the pipeline is there as a visual like cue for Ethan realistically, just so that he knows if anyone is in the lost booking, didn't pay deposit, cancel that booking. The lost booking, not a maintenance subscription holder, that's if someone used the maintenance calendar but don't actually have a paying subscription. They'll get put into this bracket, and then if they don't go ahead and pay that maintenance, again, these two, if I could color code them, these two would be red for immediate action, is to go and cancel those two. This is just a bucket, nice to have, you know, and then the rest are actually used for like his actual workflow. But his day-to-day would be, client makes a booking, they go immediately into no deposit, client booked. Once they make the deposit, they go into client booked with deposit. If they choose the upsell, they also go to engine bay clean. Once that's done, he simply clicks service complete, and then the other workflow takes over. So that's the only thing Ethan has to do, is like, he can come in on pipelines and visually see what's happening for cancellations. And the only other thing he does is goes to contacts, and you can go in here and you can click, you know, work completed. That's all he has to do. Once he clicks work completed, it will trigger the next workflow. So he didn't have to worry about anything. But yeah, I mean, it's really that simple. It's 4 funnels. I mean, technically, yeah, 4 funnels, 4 workflows, and then a handful of automation rules. I think, yeah, 4 automation rules. So that's all it took really, and it's a fully useful system for him. So he's loving it. I'm really glad. I'm really happy. I'm really proud of this one. So if you are wanting something similar to what you've just seen, just drop a comment below, or you can find me on my Facebook. But you can contact me however you find, and see if we can make this a thing for the both of us to work on together. So hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.